Hello there, and welcome back to the Bordeaux rebuild in the Bordeaux Ascension. Since that last episode, we had a little bit of a transfer switch. Valentin Barco from a relegated Strasbourg is in from midfield. Decent player, definitely more attacking than what we had before. Good all-rounder, and at 26 years old, might be a little bit quality we needed. And on the outs is Isaac Marino. One midfielder in and one midfielder out. This guy, I mean, he was good, but I think just a little bit defensive. And I think with the team that we have at the moment with Briku, we can afford to have someone a little bit more attacking. I can see in his first two games, 2 goals, 2 games, 2 goals on 1 assist. So we've only played 3 games since that last episode. First one was a 2-0 win over Nice with Naim and Lorenzo getting goals in this one. 2-0 defeat at home to Toulouse in a pretty disappointing result. And then back to winning ways, a 4-0 win against Brest. Valentin Barco getting 2 goals and Lorenzo getting another goal, with Merveld capping off the scoring. So league table, after 5 games played, we are 10 points into 5th position. But today, we're not focusing on that first off, as we have a Europa League game. LASK in our first game in the Europa League in quite a while. It's been a long time coming for Bordeaux, and this is the team that we're facing. Firstly, Ligue is back fit, did play the last game against Brest. Merveld is in behind him with Rudier on the left, Nam on the right, Valentin Barco and Briku in midfield, with Emas, Tony and Bayo and Lorenzo making up the back 4 with Ramos in goal. Here we are then, the first game back in the Europa League for Bordeaux. Been a very long time for Bordeaux since they've last been in Europe. Against LASK, not the strongest of oppositions, but I'm not sure where we really face against the Europa League teams. There is quite a few good teams in this though. Atalanta, West Ham, AC Milan, Casapia, who you wouldn't think are good, but maybe not the best start. Near post corner, I thought that was a thing of F24, but it seems a bit strange how you got that. So much space. Right, Meerveld. Over to take a corner on the near side. Crossed in. Can we get a set piece? Maybe not. Rudier to Meerveld. Rudier. Oh, little dipping shot. Not quite on target though. Right, Renier. And by our way for Barco, who can maybe see a bit of his attacking flair in this one. To Rudier, he's not been himself this season, but it's still early days. Rudier to Merveld. Back to Emas, to Barco, Briku. Nice football into the box. Lorenzo already has a couple goals for himself this season. Does get another goal in the Europa League. First game in the Europa League, and first goal for Lorenzo. Keeps his goal scoring form. Alright, Emas on the ball to Rudier, still deep in our own half at the moment. Does have a couple options. Does finally need them on. Tries to find Mirvel, but loses the ball out to Andre. Counter attack from LASK. Out left towards a Denoran. Denoran back to Bello. Shot from distance off the crossbar. Not sure why it would just seem to be a very susceptible to counter attacks, and no nonsense there from LS. Renier on the ball again from the throw in. LS no nonsense again, but this one goes to Rudier. Doesn't have a lot of options with him, but we know Rudier has that little bit of class to do the unthinkable. Not this time though. Seems like they're keeping 2 players up, which is somehow somehow we're struggling to keep hold of it at the moment. They're turning to Briku. Briku cross line to Naim. Naim can't get there. Right, Amas over to Briku. Briku in the field. Got a couple of options. Chooses right over to Lorenzo. Lorenzo already has a goal and just ran into his man before he could put the cross in. Tony looks like he's made a foul on the halfway line though. Mirvel does win the ball back. Ligue them on to Briku, to Barco. Barco out left to Amos. Amos through ball on the left hand side to Rudier. Couple in the box. Should he try to find one? We'll find someone who chooses Ligue them on, who via a deflection that puts us at 2-1 up. been pretty good in this game, but I don't really know. There's a little bit of, I'm going to say, complacency from us, or just a bit of being a young team that we're not quite good. Meerveld shot from distance from a free kick. Good save by Berger to put it out for a corner. Still 2-1 in this one, and 55 minutes on the clock. Berger has the ball. I can't even pronounce LASK. Team. This is their goalkeeper. Do win it back though with 9. It's been a little bit quiet, but makes Lorenzo do well. 9 minutes in behind and pretty poor shot on there. Tony out to MS. Rudier comes deep. Barco to Bricu. Bricu out right to Lorenzo. Does have 9 down the right hand side. Leguizamon is in the box. Could he find him? Head off the post and in, and there is the 3rd goal. Maybe VR will check it, but I think we've definitely been missing a striker like Leguizamon. Even if he has scored his 2nd goal in 2 games, that is disallowed offside, then still a good day, still getting the positions. But over the corner, deep, almost the way they scored the 1st goal almost happened again. 75 on the clock. Ramos, short and bio. A little bit maybe disappointed from our team that we haven't got a 3rd. Leguizamon might get there. Completely mess at the back, and Leguizamon, keeper tries to get it away. Leguizamon puts it in the back of the net. Complete mess at the back for LASK, and there is 3-1. Just missed the striker, and even if it's not the best striker in the world, you still get them runs like that. Meerveld with a wide free kick. Can we make it 4? Bricu does knock it down, and Bricu at the back post. 81 on the clock. Bordeaux take control of this Europa League game, though away from home. Took us a little bit of a while. Quinton Bricu or Tina altogether, we don't really score a lot from set pieces, so to get one is always welcome. MS brings the ball forward. Really is a little bit more central. Tries to find him, but not really on the same wavelength. Lorenzo. Out to Barco. Bricu. Lorenzo. 9. Good football there to the box. Bricu. Shot. Already have 1. Almost had a 2nd. This one out for a corner. They were full time in our first Europa League game for a very long time. Bordeaux 4. LASK 1. Did concede early. Took us a little while to get into the game, but by 90 minutes, I think we were definitely the better team. Just because I forgot to tell you guys a couple episodes ago, Ollie Slot left PSG. Now it's Pep Guardiola, so, I mean, as if PSG wasn't hard enough to beat already. Right, into the league game at the weekend. Playing Thursday, Sunday is probably something we get used to against LOSC or Lyon, who are fighting up in the early positions for the top of the table in the early positions of the league table so far. So let's go into this one. Let's see if we can get another good result. So we are then back at home, back in league action, just a couple days after that Europa League game. A little bit of travelling, so maybe a little bit of, well, jet lag for the players, but I guess every player wants to play loads of games. MS whips in that. Barco into the box, deflected into the back of the net. That's where you swapped Marino for Barco. Just a little bit of attacking quality. Just the even possibility that he shot that means we got a chance of scoring. And that's how we got that goal. Up to 3rd position in the league now. Ramos, short to Ambayo. Ambayo is wanted by Manchester City. Up to 9. 2 of Barco. Already scored once. Chooses that the assist version this time. MS to Rudier. Rudier just absolutely tried to curl one into the top corner. Good save by Petrovic. Has been linked in the news to Norwich as well as Meerveld. Not sure how Norwich have the money, but I guess we'll see what happens. Rudier up to Meerveld, to Barco, down to Amas. A little bit strange, but I guess it worked. Loose pass from Amas. Harrelson to Zaragoza. Stason down the left. Hamas does get back again. Does lose out though. Van der Sar shot just wide. Right, free kick, just edges the box. Mirveld will take, will he shoot? Doesn't shoot, maybe should have shot. That wasn't exactly the best pass. MS up to Lorenzo. Lorenzo 4-9, puts into the bottom corner. Lorenzo's had quite a few goals this season, but this time he turns provider. 2-0 already. This is not what I was expecting. Alright, Ramos out to Tony. Short. I mean, we played pretty good in this one. I mean, we probably played a bit better in this one than we did against AFK. And 4-1 in this one. Maybe we can get a similar scoreline in this one. Rudier out on left. Can he get his goal? Rudier off the post. Unlucky from Rudier. It's definitely trying, but some stuff just isn't coming off. Had the earlier save, hit the post then. I think definitely wants a goal today. Lorenzo on the right. Clip forward. 9 Zagotha. To Haraldson down the right for Lille. Inside it to Vanderson. Loads of players around him, including Rudier. Does win the ball back from him. MS to Tony. MS again. Infield to Briku. Finding Naim upfield. Crossfield ball to Rudier. Rudier has a couple options. Does go down inside the box. Referee will take a look at it. There's a question whether that's inside or outside the box. Referee says it's not a penalty. Be a free kick, and I'm not sure I agree with that one, but we'll take the free kick. Ruggeri over to take an early corner for Lille. Ruggeri out wide on Briku. Arstiana's shot. Ramos got two hands on it and probably should have saved that one. Midfield for Lille today is Boadi, who's been such linked with a £120 million move away and playing a 6.6 against us, so probably not worth the money. To Tony, on to Barco, time to turn. Barco to Briku. Briku outright to Lorenzo. Hasn't been quite as dominant from this in this game, in this half, but they did make 3 subs at half time. Briku is down the right hand side though. Finds Mirva edge of the box. Somehow doesn't get into the back of the net. Lille had quite a lot of players in the box, and then now on the counter, Yarmulke, Solitude for Lille. Back to goal. Finds Engels. Tries to find Boadi, but only finds Gizemon. Chance for Bordeaux to break. Naim down the right hand side. Has 2 for company. Briku to Naim. Finds Mirveld into the box. Gizemon in the box. Into the back of the net. Barring a VR check. I do believe that is 3-1. I think the referee will check it from VAR. And it is awarded. 9 minutes back. Out to Lorenzo. Gizemon. Gizemon from deep. Not really used to seeing him come deep. Barco to Briku. Good football again at the edge of the box. Gizemon finds Lorenzo. Tries to go for the near post. Petrovic read it and puts that one out for a corner. Jacquet to Boadi. A little bit of possession for Lille. Haven't really seen this in the highlights too much, especially in their own half. From deep, Ruggeri finds Zaragoza. Flicked onto Oristano. Oristano will go on a run under absolutely no pressure, but shot is pretty easy for Ramos to just clutch into his chest. And 12 minutes left of the game. Does play short to Mbayo. Last couple seconds at the home of Bordeaux. Station might get another consolation for Lille. Out and a good save from Ramos. The last couple seconds in this one. Been a pretty comfortable performance from Bordeaux, but Lille have had a little bit of a couple chances to show their and flex their muscles, but Bordeaux were unfortunately just a bit too much for Lille. Anyway, that is the end of the